Well, hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. If you're watching this, you'll have finished season 14 or season 1 of whatever they're calling it on Disney Plus these days of Ncuti Gatwa's era of Doctor Who. But we're about to dig back into the classic era into the season 8. So it's the second series of Jon Pertwee. Yeah, we very much enjoyed the first one, haven't we? Sorry, Thomas, I've dipped in there and I haven't even introduced you.
Oh, don't worry. I wouldn't have done either.
If at this stage you don't know who Thomas is, I mean, what have you been doing? You know, if you're this far in. Yes, so my name's Paul and I'm joined by Thomas. And
You weren't even going to let me say it myself.
No, you've had I think you said enough already.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we're about to dive into.
People.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please, could you maybe type something in the chat if you want to talk? Okay.
I'll raise my hand.
Yeah, absolutely. We are watching through the classic era. We are about to start season 8, so Jon Pertwee's second season. And it's fair to say, I think, Thomas, we enjoyed season 7.
Yeah, really
It
good.
was strong.
It was all pretty. Well, it was unusual, wasn't it? We were saying in that it's all he's without his TARDIS, so it's all kind of happening around the unit base in a pretty similar time frame, isn't it? I know there's the alternate reality in the final story, but otherwise there isn't much time travel, is there?
Well, no. No, we've not really had any time travel apart
So for
from...
a show about about a time traveling, space traveling guy, it's quite unusual that it doesn't travel much through either space or time.
Indeed. But despite
Yeah, very
that,
good.
we found ourselves enjoying it quite a lot. I think I said to you at the beginning of season 7, or partway through it at least, that season 7 is kind of its own thing. And so as we get into season 8 now, we're going to find that we're into sort of a kind of almost like a soft reboot again. And I think the Pertwee era from here on maintains a similar feel all the way to the end. And having enjoyed season 7, this is not to say we're not going to enjoy what comes after. It's just going to be a slightly different feel. I think you'll probably pick up on some of that anyway. We should crack into it. We're about to watch the first story, Terror of the Autons. You don't really get any prizes for guessing the returning enemies here, Thomas.
Is it the Daleks?
Correct.
I thought
It's always
so.
good to it's good to kind of throw you off the scent.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was broadcast originally on from the 2nd of January to the 23rd of January 1971. It's 4-parter, directed by Barry Letts, written by Robert Holmes. I think Barry Letts was actually the producer of the show at the time, but he was allowed to direct a story every season, perhaps, or at least every now and again. So he does get in there with that. And there's a number of interesting things in this story, but I don't want to spoil them before we get there, really. So we should probably just dive straight in, unless you've got anything to add.
He was often putting his house on the market, wasn't he? And they'd often say, Barry Letts.
Yeah, definitely press play.
That's all I've got for you.
And if you're joining us for the first time, this is the level.
Of Shallow Proclamation.
Yeah.
Oh, has this changed slightly? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not sure it has. If it is, it's a subtle change.
I wasn't aware. Yeah, maybe because, yeah, that vivid purple at the start, I might have just
Yeah.
missed that usually because I'm normally trying to get the full screen working.
As always, give the channel a subscribe if you haven't already. Do like the videos, that gets them seen as well. And do chuck your comments down below. We like to engage with you guys and see what you think of things. Robert Holmes, so I think he wrote Spearhead from Space and The Space Pirates.
Hmm.
We know we enjoyed The Space Pirates.
Man, that was hard work, wasn't it? Oh, is it a fun fair? Circus.
I think so. Look, an elephant. Have we got subtitles? I know you haven't said anything yet, but...
Yes, they are enabled. think we've got to address the elephant in this episode. Do circuses get away with having animals now? I don't know if they do in the UK.
No, they wouldn't. Certainly not.
Certainly not elephants and lions and stuff. Oh, hello.
Who the heck are you? Well, I am usually referred to as the master.
Oh my goodness. I recognize him because I've seen was it Fury from the Deep? One of the animated versions had a poster of this guy on the wall.
Yeah, it may have been the faceless ones, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'd added it in as a little Easter egg. But yeah, he's a pretty iconic master, isn't he?
The original, you might say.
So the guy who's called the master in
the Mind Robber.
That's not the master.
No, it's not the master. No.
So that was a bit of a red herring.
Yeah. Although I mean, not at the time. I mean.
Yeah. Have any fans tried to retrospectively define him as an earlier incarnation?
Yeah, I think they have. Yeah. I think some things have gone that way.
That's awesome, though. So we've now got the master. The show is coming together.
Yep.
Oh, what an outfit.
I was going to say new outfit there. Not many men can pull off a velvet jacket, but...
Yeah, a red velvet jacket. I mean, that is quite something, isn't it?
Well, that's just made me think of cake.
Thank you.
Yes.
Red velvet cake.
She's got a reasonably interesting outfit as well.
Said not today, thank you.
Cool. Would you like a Marc de Champagne coca-dusted truffle
I would love one.
from M&S? I was given these as a gift.
Bun vendor.
But this whole place
A bun vendor.
Ham-fisted bun vendor.
Welding always creates more smoke than fire.
steady state micro welding?
Yes, an advanced engineering technique pioneered by the Lamardines. Remarkably gifted race. They had 9 of
So I think I did tell you at the end of season 7 that Liz is gone.
Yes, well, never mind.
So is this hashtag new companion alert?
It is, yeah. Now, did you ever watch the Sarah Jane Adventures?
Thank you.
I'm not.
I watched the first series, I think.
What the place is you doing in here? Don't you know this area?
Because she does appear in Sarah Jane Adventures.
Key lady in the Brigadier's person.
Oh, does she?
Your new assistant. The Brigadier sent me along to introduce myself, Dr. Josephine Grant.
Josephine.
How do you do, Miss Grant?
Oh,
I really don't think you're suitable.
You right?
I'm a fully qualified agent.
yeah, sorry, the picture went a bit funny.
Technology, safe breaking.
I watched a clip from the Sarah Jane Adventures on YouTube the other day. One of the ones that Matt Smith was in.
I took general
And-
science at A-level.
I'm sure you.
It looks awful, doesn't it? No, that's harsh. But it was obviously a kids' show. But it's a very different feel to Doctor Who, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Look, Miss Grant, I've got a great deal of work to do. You must excuse me.
The Brigadier
She was an early companion, wasn't she? Polyhedron.
wanted it for
Yeah, and she was translucent.
I knew I should have destroyed that.
Who says the show is never inclusive?
Yes, in a way. As that container held a form of alien.
I personally feel that translucent
just got to be
people are underrepresented in the show.
That thing is extremely dangerous.
But who would want
Well, you've seen right through them, haven't you?
No, that would be transparent. I've seen partially through them. This looks like my primary school.
But the barbed wire.
We were some mischievous kids.
Yeah.
Just the shape of the building, flat roofs. They were very in the 70s, weren't they?
Now this music, this sound kind of stuff, for me feels very Pertwee era-esque.
Yeah. Was it the
It's-
Silurians that had really bizarre music?
Yeah, what was the? I
Yeah.
can't remember what the instrument, the crumb horn, wasn't it called?
And lots of viewers on our channel were like, "Oh, it's a bit much," and we were like, "Nope." If anything, it didn't lean into it enough. We're all for it.
I quite enjoyed it.
Power to the crumb horn. Yeah, he's got a very distinctive look, this master, doesn't he?
He certainly has. Played by a guy called Roger Delgado. Held in
name.
very, very high esteem in Doctor Who circles.
Or was that a
think
bit of
he's-
chroma keying there?
Oh yeah, there's definite chroma.
What were you going to say about Delgado?
I think Spanish. I think he's from Spain originally. Classic music. This is like the Master's theme, that kind of...
Oh, is that a Sonic?
Oh, well, you'll see. You'll see. So they've definitely chromed that window.
Yeah.
CSO'd.
It looks good though, doesn't it?
Colour separation overlay, isn't it? Yes. Ah, now that's the same prop we had in Spear from Space, isn't it?
yeah.
I wonder if we'll see anything of the old intergalactic bumhole.
So interesting that both seasons 7 and 8 begin with the Autons.
Yeah, and one of the few creatures we've had that have actually returned, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had Daleks and Cybermen returning. Have we had anything else? Yetis, Abominable Snowmen,
Ice Warriors.
Ice Warriors.
The shaft angling code has gone crazy. Are you there, man?
Other than that,
Feedback control.
not many. I think the ones that return, I mean, this is an obvious point, but the ones that return are clearly a successful design that's gone down well and
Yeah.
works. So it's just quite interesting thinking, yeah, what is it that makes an enduring Doctor Who monster? And I think it is just that it's scary, isn't it? Or that it's, I don't know, it's hard to put your finger on it, that kind of iconic, like, why did the Cybermen keep coming back? Why did the Daleks keep coming back? They've tried to make lots of monsters to kind of have the same enduring power, like the War Machines and stuff. But no, it's yeah, I don't know. It's just fascinating, isn't it? It's hard to come up with a genuinely good monster.
I guess another person that's returned, the monk returned, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, what's the girl doing here anyway? Unit's no place for trainees.
No, I couldn't agree more, Doctor.
And he's not the master, is he? He's a different Time Lord, presumably.
Trying to palm her off onto me.
Who's that? Who are you talking about? The monk?
The monk.
Oh yeah, he's just, yeah.
Because he's clearly from the Doctor's home planet, although they weren't called Time Lords exactly back then. But
Sure. No, he is just the meddling monk.
yeah,
You should break the news to her yourself.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Miss Grant.
I've checked all incoming reports. Still nothing on the stolen meteorite.
Thank you.
And I've checked electronic spares.
Thank you.
They promised
I
to
love
deliver
the
tomorrow
Brigadier.
without fail.
I think Nicholas Courtney is actually, he gets less to do in this story. I think because he, I don't think he was very well. I think he had depression, and they wrote his part down
oh gosh,
to give him some time off. I think I'm right in saying that every time you see him on location, and when we do see location shots, it's not actually him.
Report from one of our field
it's a double.
sir.
It's a double, yeah.
Some kind of sabotage.
It is now.
That was weirdly tense, just watching him effectively pull a lid off something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is the director. How do you do? I hope you realize the police have already investigated.
Barry Letts.
Bridge Stewart.
I know.
Miss Grant requested
Did you know that Barry Letts?
Good, that'll do.
it's hardly an international matter.
I understand you've lost a couple of scientists.
Yes. Professor Phillips and his assistant, Gooch.
Gooch. I love that name. Oh. Now, where have we seen that before, Paul?
Well, you know, looks like the new era may be referencing some classic stuff more than you know.
Yes, so Sacha Dhawan's master does that a bit, doesn't he? Shrinking stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess in terms of what have we had in the show so far, Planet of Giants was some shrinkage, wasn't it?
When you mentioned a steady repeat demand.
It's a nice effect.
People I represent, Mr. Farrell, can never pod.
What's a cephalopod?
An octopus. I thought you took an A-level in science.
Didn't say I passed.
It's my favourite animal, the octopus.
They manifest themselves.
Is it really?
They're just awesome, aren't they?
Intelligence.
But if they're disembodied, how
I
can
think they're pretty cool.
you mean like Frankenstein?
What's your favourite animal, Paul?
Great white shark.
Really?
No, if you've quite finished asking.
Maybe that I think that reveals a lot about our relationship.
The radio telescope is their bridgehead.
We're locked in combat. You're biting into me, and I have my tentacles sort of in your gills, so you can't breathe.
Mega shark versus giant octopus.
Yeah, it's a deadlock.
Please.
Very well, Miss Grant.
I'll start by making out
If someone doesn't make an AI-generated image representation of that in the next few days, I'll be very disappointed with our faces on. Could be the Shallow Proclamation logo.
Oh, I think by now he'll be calling himself their commander-in-chief.
Not to replace the current one, though. The current one by Bobby Dazzler is very good.
Yeah, lovely.
Is she hypnotised?
Yeah, he hypnotised that guy earlier.
Yes, I think I knew that the Master had that ability. That's been done a bit in the modern era, hasn't it?
In a field about 9 miles
Yeah.
from the research station. And they say there's a zinc
So now we're really getting the kind of unit sort of family established because we've got Benton here again, we've got the Brigadier, and actually this other guy, Mike Yates, Captain Yates, is another character who's going to be a regular unit member for us.
Oh, nice. Benton.
Our customers, and there isn't a Colonel Masters amongst them.
You're quite wrong, Jane.
Interesting out of focus background there.
Well, more CSO, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not entirely
The Autons are my servants. Why do you come?
successful.
What did she just do to that guy?
Let's just hit him. Like,
I want to watch that little... Oh, yeah. It's just off screen when it happens, but
yeah.
I thought it was
Fist
more
of Fury.
Venusian karate for a second.
So, yeah, what do you think, mate? Episode 1 of a new season.
Yes. Well, it is just interesting to note, isn't it, that it's UNIT again on Earth, seemingly in the present day, or contemporary to when it was made, with the Autons. So that it's kind of a very deliberate. Okay, here we go again, like the start of season 7. But obviously, the key new ingredient is the Master, and just straight in there on the Master. The Doctor clearly knows who he is. We can see that they've got some history there. We see him doing hypnosis. I think he kind of makes it for me. He's quite a compelling, just a very compelling screen presence, isn't he? Just with the look, the very severe look and facial hair. And you can see that he's a formidable villain, even just in this first episode that he's in. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed that. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Terror of the Autons is one of the stories I'm probably less familiar with because I never sort of owned it. I've seen it a couple of times maybe, but yeah, obviously significant for introducing the Master, which is going to be obviously it's become a big part of Doctor Who history, and interesting to see the Time Lords popping up again for the first time since we saw them at the end of season 10. Not season 10. What am I talking about? That's rubbish. Season 6. Don't know where I got season 10 from. 10-parter the war games. Episode 10, probably that's what I'm going for. Yeah, and yeah, this idea of introducing a Time Lord then into the story, in the shape of the Master, is an interesting one. And then, as I said, it's also the introduction. I think it's the introduction. I don't think we had Captain Yates in the previous season. And I'm going to hold off on asking you what you think of Joe as a companion, because we haven't really had a lot of that yet. So, yeah. But yeah, it's a good start. Clearly, it must have been that the Autons had been successful. I think I did read somewhere that it did draw in quite a number of viewers, so
Right.
must have paid off. So yeah,
Well, that shot of that sequence of them breaking out of the shop windows was very iconic, wasn't it?
yeah, that's a really absolutely a very iconic scene. So that may have stuck in people's minds.
Yeah, and the sense that, you see those mannequins kind of everywhere when you go into town. Probably less so now, actually. I haven't noticed so many in clothing shops. I don't know if that's just where I live, but very popular in the 70s, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they are still around, but yeah, I guess they're just a good villain, aren't they? Because you can utilize any plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which particularly at that time I think was plastic was a much newer idea, so it's much more at the forefront of people's minds.
So they control
in a
plastic,
different way now.
right?
Yeah,
That's how you solve the plastic in the oceans.
yeah, just get them to pull it all out.
Yeah.
Just go right. Yeah. Also, I think what I really enjoyed about that story is I love Pertwee's the phrases he uses all through it. Just the way he calls Joe a ham-fisted bun vendor, like. Well, you got to start using that. Or a jackanape, an unimaginative plodder.
Yeah.
Brilliant. He's just quite barbed with what he says. Savage. So
I love how, if you said those sorts of phrases now, people wouldn't really know what to do with them. You'd be
No.
like, "Oh, burn," and then people were just like, "Sorry, what?"
yeah, if you call someone a jackanape.
Yeah, I remember there was a time when I was at school and this guy in class was sort of messing around. We were actually quite good friends, but he was messing around a bit while the teacher was out, like throwing stuff at me and stuff. And I turned around really suddenly on my chair, and he expected me to say, to call him like an F word or something. And I just said, "You ragamuffin." Because it was all I could think of.
Ragamuffin. Oh dear. So I can imagine you, Thomas, just only dealing in sort of insults used by 18th century street urchins,
But yeah, I should have said jackanape.
Yeah, that would have gone down well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Do let us know what you think of this episode and this story in the comments, and we will be back soon. Goodbye.
bye-bye.